Hi, my name is Ed Wehan. Welcome to this episode of Our Ventura. I'm pleased and excited to have today with me Derek Poultney, who is Executive Director of the Ventura Land Trust. Derek, thanks for being here.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks so much, Ed.
So Derek, I've lived in Ventura for quite a while, and most of us who have lived here in this city are familiar with the Ventura Hillsides Conservancy. Now you're looking forward to a change to the Ventura Land Trust. Maybe you can explain that transition.
Yes, it's a long time coming. Our board and staff have decided internally many years ago to make this change and just waited for the appropriate moment to come public with the new name. And now that we have a big land acquisition in the hillsides, we felt that people who grew accustomed to the Ventura Hillsides Conservancy wouldn't feel like we were turning our back on the hillsides. So we remain just as or more committed than ever to preserving the hillsides. And we feel like because of our other work that we do around the county and along the Ventura River, we felt like it's time to change our name to reflect our work better.
What exactly is a land trust? I know there's a land trust alliance. I've seen that name before, so I imagine the organization may be a part of it, but what is a land trust?
Well, a land trust by definition is a nonprofit organization whose sole purpose is to preserve land. And I can get into that in a number of ways, but everyone is familiar with the Nature Conservancy, and so I just wanted to make sure everyone knows that there's no difference between a conservancy or a land conservancy and a land trust. For us, you know, when you type it 30, 40 times a day, and when you have to say conservancy, it doesn't roll off the tongue as well. And the other thing that we've learned over the years, all across the nation, is that people confuse us with music conservatories and other things like that. So when you have a land trust, it just simplifies things for everybody. And what land trusts do is, through various ways, we own land. We either buy it, we get it donated, or we work on conservation easements, and it's all through working with willing landowners. We can't just go and buy somebody's land or take land away from somebody. It's always with a willing landowner. And it's to preserve habitat, it's to preserve scenic vistas, waterways, wildlife corridors, natural areas in general.
Do land trusts vary in what their mission may be in different areas or even in similar areas? I mean, do they all advocate, say, for public access or public good, that type of thing?
Yeah, there's a tremendous variety depending on the location, the habitat types, if they are more interested in, let's say, cultural resources or wetlands, they have specific objectives. But the main thing, a land trust has to provide public benefit. And so here in Ventura, our land trust niche in the community is providing public access to our open spaces right here in our backyard. So we will take care of the land, steward it very well for wildlife habitat, as much as you possibly can save the species and improve vegetation, but we've got to bring the public up into the hills and enjoy our waterways, the creeks and rivers. It's what I've learned over the years is that Ventura has a huge pent-up demand for public recreation. Right now, Venturans have to drive about a half an hour or more to get up to Ojai or the Los Padres National Forest, up to Santa Barbara, to the trail system up there into the Santa Monicas, because right now there's currently no real large nature preserve in Ventura where you have unfettered public access from dawn to dusk. That's what we will be providing, and that's our benefit to Ventura.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that, having been brought up in an area where, it's not just parks. I was on the Parks Commission for a while. We have great parks here in the city, But there is the need, as you described, for some space where kids, families, individuals can just go out and get lost and see the landscape as it naturally was.
Right, it's just getting out into the wild, and we're working on a 2,100 acre preserve just above Foothill and Kimball here in Ventura, where if you just walk for a couple of minutes, you feel like you're out of town right away, out into the wilderness and the open spaces, and you hear nature, and you can't see any houses, you don't hear any traffic, and so that's why I'm here and what I do with my career is because I had those experiences as a boy growing up and hiking and playing in the creeks,
Right.
and so for me to help bring this benefit to Ventura is a real honor.
Maybe you could talk a little bit about Ventura Land Trust, going back to the Conservancy's days, what they've accomplished, what's been accomplished so far.
Right. Well, a quick history lesson here. We started in 2003 out of a Measure A effort to keep the hillsides from getting overdeveloped. And two groups formed, and the Ventura Hillsides Conservancy was formed as a land trust. And the other group was an advocacy organization called Ventura Citizens for Hillside Preservation. And so the name change to Ventura Land Trust, in my perspective, is just a natural evolution over the years of going from a real specific community effort on a real focused geographic area, the hillsides. And then in 2007, the Hillsides Conservancy expanded its interest area significantly from just the hillsides behind Ventura, all the way up the Ventura River corridor, up to Foster Park, and out toward a good probably maybe 25% of the way up the Santa Clara River corridor. So we expanded significantly in 2007. And the reason for the name change now, in addition to the reasons I've given already, is because we're getting calls for areas outside of our current interest area throughout the county. We own land up near Fraser Park. We're starting to work in the Callegas Creek watershed. We expect to be working in the Santa Clara River watershed in the coming months. And so the name change at this moment in time is a great segue into how we envision our work in Ventura County moving forward.
And of course, I'm familiar with a couple of the properties, the Willoughby property at the Main Street Bridge. It's interesting, some mornings you walk or jog very slowly across that and you see deer.
Yes.
You know, and it's so nice and so accessible compared to what it was. And I know that the trust, the staff, all the people that they had involved really cleaned that up and made it accessible to anybody who wants to go out there and work.
Yeah, when you say what the organization has accomplished, I would say I am most proud of that. When we acquired the Willoughby property, even before we acquired the Willoughby property, decades-long homeless encampments, 50 or 60 people were living on a little 8-acre property between the Main Street Bridge and the 101 Bridge. And we started talking to the homeless people, giving them plenty of notice. We gave them 2 months, letting them know what was going to be happening. And slowly and surely, we worked with Project Understanding, Salvation Army, and the churches and the city. The city was very helpful with this transition. And our biggest accomplishment was transitioning from normally what you experience at a land trust is you have land trust professionals that have real estate experience, and you have habitat restoration ecology experience. And now for the first time in our organization's history, we have to learn on the fly how to be social service professionals. And what I'm most proud of is we tackled a community problem with an amazing group of volunteers, board and staff. And and I always reference the Mono Lake Committee and how a small group of people changed water policy throughout the state. And I feel the same way about our organization. A very small handful of people took on a huge litter problem in the river, to the point where the city was going to be fined $25,000 a day if we didn't collaborate and fix the trash situation.
Which you did, yeah. Yeah, it's a tremendous accomplishment, that's for sure. But for the many people watching this program, let's move forward. The future, we've great
Excellent.
things in the past. So what can the citizens of the city of Ventura, the surrounding areas, expect from where the land trust is going in the future?
Well, our vision for the future is to have a world-class, large nature preserve, many, many miles of hiking and mountain biking trails, where it can be used for people's everyday morning walking their dog for a half a mile, all the way up to a full day hiking excursion. And the basic goal here is Venturans won't have to go elsewhere anymore to get this outdoor nature experience in wildlife viewing. The future is we are working on 2,100 acres, Upper Harmon Canyon, beautiful views. It starts out at Foothill Road, probably at a couple hundred feet, and it goes all the way up to 1,700 feet with views of San Nicolas Island on a good day, Santa Monica Mountains, Santa Clara River corridor. You can see the Channel Islands. You can see on a great day the snow on the top of the San Gabriels in Los Angeles, and Santa Ynez Peak in Santa Barbara. And so that one nature preserve is going to provide so many community benefits. It's going to improve our health, the exercise. We'll be able to sneak away for a quick run at lunch for the people that can, bike or walk or drive there really quickly. But that's just one of many land acquisitions that we have on the horizon.
So there's a lot for the people of our city, both in the near future, intermediate future, to be able, as you described, to go back to open space like that, which I think you mentioned to me is like 4 miles deep and a mile wide with 10 miles of put on your shoes and go hiking kind of thing. So that's an exciting thing to look forward to. How do we work with the community in involving them? I mean, they don't really have, it's not owned by the city, it's not taxpayers' dollars, it's trust.
That's a great point.
So how can they get involved, and how should they get involved?
Well, first of all, the city and county have been partners in this all along. Now, the benefit of the land trust managing this property is that it doesn't take tax dollars or county and city staff. So we're providing basically a regional park for the community. It's the way that land trusts work is that the community supports our work, much that everyone here is a taxpayer to support the county and city services. We basically expect the same way you would look at public radio.
Right.
We're going to need local support to keep that benefit alive for the community. Now, how the city and county can eventually help, I would imagine, is to look at the Conejo Open Space District and how the Santa Barbara Creeks Division has worked at some sort of small percentage of the tax base to go toward open space preservation. So that would be something that we would look toward in the future.
Let's look at, we're coming to the end of the show here. So how can people who are watching this program, who are excited about being able to hike and explore, how can they become involved? How can they help your efforts?
Well, the best way to start is to come out on a tour of the preserve, and that's way the staff and the board can get to know people and become involved and get really excited about it. For those who can't make the tour, just checking out our website, coming and meeting us at the office. The best way is coming and helping us at one of our events. We plant trees, We remove non-native vegetation, and we have every third Saturday of the month, we have a great group where you can get to know us.
Maybe you can just give the website, where should they go?
It's www.venturalandtrust.org.
Right.
And that's a great way. Call me, look at the website,
Yep.
join us.
And donate.
Absolutely.
You need money, whether you're a business, and businesses have helped you, the communities helped you. Memberships every year help support what you do.
Absolutely.
So,
That's the easiest way, is to
Right.
become a member. We need everybody's skin in the game to realize our
Right.
goals. And
yep. Derek, thanks so much. Our
Ed,
time
thank
has
you.
come to an end. I want to thank you, and I want to thank all of you out there for watching this program, and I look forward to seeing you again in another Our Ventura episode. Thank you.